Good evening, everyone. This is the Bull Market Watch by IntroToCryptos.ca. Today is December the 1st of 2018, and we are still looking at the starting soon screen. And you can see the animated logo right there saying click on subscribe, and be sure to click on that bell icon so that you get notifications when the next live streams are starting. And I'll go back to the editor view over here so I can switch to the correct scene. Here we are looking at the price of Bitcoin. And let me draw a little circle right here. Right here where we see this top. You can see that there was higher highs. And down here there was lower highs on the RSI when we zoom into that time frame there. And there was lower volume on the on-balance volume. So I marked this off as the charts were live, and I sent this out to our Discord chat in our private area for the people who have purchased the book or been a lifetime member of the courses from before. And then a few hours later, we could see this divergence where the prices were making a bit of a lower low, but RSI was making a higher low, and the on-balance volume was showing that the bears had run out of juice. They had lots of volume here, but they had very little volume here. And both of these alerts really match well to what I was talking about earlier when prices were down here and I was saying that prices are going to come up. Then they were going to retrace back. And then after they retraced back, we're going to see prices come up to the 5,500, 53 to 5,500 level. And so they came up just where I predicted, just by support and resistance. And then they've come back down to just above support and resistance. I was calling for them to come down to 3,800, but they only came down to 3,950. And then back up we go. Now I am anticipating that prices will go up to the 53 to 5,500 level, and we're going to make a top formation there, and we'll see the same RSI divergence again. And then I'm anticipating that it's going to get really ugly after that. After that, then we're going to see this price come down to $2,500. Just for a short time, as I was saying in the last couple streams. So I wanted to reintroduce that again. And there's a notification there streaming that the stream is indeed live. And I'm seeing a whirly bird over on the preview that I have. So if you are here and watching the stream, let me know in the chat if you can see everything and everything's working fine. Can you hear me? Not sure if the stream is working properly. So let me know if you can hear me on the chat there, if everything's all working fine, if I should continue to proceed, or is there something amiss and not working properly? So I'm not getting the same notifications up to the top corner here. I'm not seeing people tuned in, and I know that there were people watching. So I wonder what's not working right. The stream seems to be doing fine. 0% dropped frames. CPU is fine. I've got a screaming CPU, so that shouldn't be a problem. I've got the Ryzen Threadripper. But I don't see anybody chatting and saying that they hear me. Let me reload this page and see what happens. I'm not sure. No chat. No indication of people viewing, and there were people waiting and waiting for it, so I'm not sure what's up. All right, now I'm getting some data. So now things have picked up. And what we're doing here on a regular basis is we are doing the bull market watch. And we've been doing this for a few months now, since early September when we started watching and doing videos pretty much on a daily basis here, the 24th, 26th, October 5th, 6th, 7th, all the way through October, all the way through November, watching and collecting data on how well this the bull market is shaping up. It was looking great in the middle of October, but then we can see on this chart here that prices the trend changed, where all the buy signals and all the alerts and everything all faded off, and we had a whole bunch of fails as everything went down to new lows. And then we had a big day on November the 21st, and it really coincided well with Bitcoin's price moves. As prices came down, we had hell day number 1, we had hell day number 2, and then prices came down here on the 21st. This is on the 24th, but it was on the 21st of, got marked, whoops. The 21st we had new lows in most everything, and they were really reset everything as prices came down here. And then over the next few days we've seen things consolidate and start to give us some buy signals. And what we did on these days was we started to zoom in on the markets. We started to zoom in to see if we could catch some of these bottom formations when they were very small. And so we shifted focus away from what we were doing here with the simple trading plan, where we were looking at the 12-hour bars and looking for the break of the downtrend line and then the exponential moving average crossover before we got into a trade signal. And instead, we started to zoom in and start to look at the 30-minute and 15-minute charts. And you can see here where we had an alert, and then we had that alert hit, and it turned into an exit signal. Here's another one where we had a buy signal, and it turned into an exit signal. Another one where there was an alert, and it turned into an exit signal. Another one here, another one here, another one. So all of these were small losses where hypothetically, we were chipped away a whole bunch of them. And this is one of the reasons that I trade on the 12-hour bars and try to step back from the charts and do the longer term view with a smaller position that I hold for a longer period of time. For trading in the short range, I get chewed up all the time. It's very hard to get the bottom, to pick the bottom and really do it well. So, as we go through the live review today, we're going to take a look at all of these coins. And one thing I want to announce, IntroToCryptos.ca/alerts. This alert program, and the website is currently unable to handle this request, an 500 error. I don't know what's going on with that. So I'll have to go and check my hosting and see what's the deal. Of course, just as I sent out an email to everybody about this limited time offer, and as I go to show you on the live show, the website is down. Fantastic. We'll do that again later. All right, back to Bitcoin prices. Here we are looking at the Ichimoku cloud formation, and I've been using this a little bit to cross-check and watch for trade signals. Isn't that a bummer that my website would be down right now? Perfect timing. Poloniex. So what we've been doing is the bull market watch, and we've been going through and color coding all of these signals. And recently I started to put in some prices as targets to say that here is an alert at for BAT, for basic attention token, at 41.29. And the next day that alert was hit and it turned into a buy signal. So here's another one that BNT has a target signal of 000175, and it was marked as an alert. And BTS was marked at 1245, marked as an alert. Burst coin was marked at 123 as an alert, and we got in, and then we added on at 130 and it's up to about 168 right now. But all of these are great, but I was getting a number of requests from people to say, could you just send me this information by email at the end of the show? Could I just get this without having to sit through the whole show and watch the live stream to see all this data? And I started doing some work on creating a new set of sheets that indeed does pretty much exactly that. So what we're doing here is we're looking at the Poloniex coins watch sheet, where we have the entry, the trade type, we have the current Bitcoin value, we have our stop loss in here, we have our risk, our current profit and loss, the US dollar and market cap of the coin, all sorts of detailed information. And then I started boiling that down so that I stripped out all the extra information, and we have just the alerts here and the alert entry price. And these are set to be emailed out to people who join the email list on IntroToCryptos.ca/alerts. And if you join that list over the next week, I will be doing a free promo of sending out these alerts and providing even more information just for the next week. You'll also find details inside the website on the trades, the current BTC value, the entry price that we went in, where the stop loss is, what our risk would be if the price came down to hit our stop loss, and what the current profit and loss is on each of these trades. So you can see the date that the trade was put on and how many days it's been held, and you can start to get a real feel for how this simple trading plan system works and what kind of results that it's been getting over the last while. Some pretty fantastic stuff here. Some of them are down a little bit. Zcash, XRP is up 71%. A few of them are 9, 10, 5%. Made Safe is down to 1.3%. And we can see where our stop loss is, so we would not risk any of our initial money. Where KNC is a new trade and the stop loss is still down below the prices. As the prices go up, then we move the stop loss up. So with Factum coin, right now it's a 261% gain, and our stop loss is set so that we're guaranteed 113.9% gain on this one. Clam coin, we're up 80%, and our stop loss is guaranteeing us 70%. Burst coin, we're up 35% just in the last couple days, and our profit guarantees are 13% on this. So overall, this system is doing very, very well. And now we can see these alerts for things that are coming in over the next while. So as I update the spreadsheet now, then all of this data will be automatically updated here. It'll automatically be updated in the members area of the website. And at the end of the show, then I will format this and send it out by email to people who have subscribed to the paid service. And for the next week, you can join up this weekend only, today and tomorrow, on the IntroToCryptos.ca/alerts, which is not working this second. No idea why. And you can get those alerts. I'm certain it'll be up and running soon. And so let's start off. I'm going to go through the old spreadsheet here. And pretty soon this spreadsheet will be retired, and I'll have this available inside the website on a free area so that you can still access this training and these details for free. But if you want the email sent to you and you want the extra details about the profit and loss and some more information, it's going to be a part of a paid service now. I'm hoping to ramp this up into something that I can be doing dedicated on a full-time basis. And of course, time is money. It needs to be profitable in order to really spend the time at this. So we got a small group on today. I didn't do an email promo about the trade. And if everybody's opening the email and the website isn't working and they can't get to it, that's a real kick in the butt. At any rate, the reason I did this in the first place is so that I can be doing better in my own trading, so that I can find all these trading opportunities and I can make that fantastic profit that I made over the last couple of years. Crazy profits, absolutely insane, and I'm gearing up to do this very same thing again. So let me close a few of these tabs up here so that I'm not going to keep reopening them. We'll start off with Ardor and work our way back down. So Ardor was a buy signal at 14.57, and yesterday it was still a hold. Let's check and see what it's doing right now. It's still doing well. 14.57, and it's up even better. I'm going to open up that spreadsheet, the master spreadsheet. The mega crypto alerts. And right now, for the free training, we've been going through all of the markets on Poloniex over and over again. We start off with Ardor and we work our way all the way through down the entire list, and we go through their charts and we mark out what they're going to be doing. And this is really a great study because it gives us the average of what all of the markets are doing. So we can see when the bull market comes in, we're going to see all of these turn to green. All of them, all the red is going to fade away, and all of the neutral coins will also fade away. Most everything will be going up because in a bull market, it lifts everything. So this is what we're watching for to happen, is the average of all of these coins. But of course, Poloniex only has like a limited number of coins on there, and Binance has a whole bunch of more that have some very low market cap and an enormously bigger trading volume than Poloniex. So it's a very liquid market here. It's easy to get in and out when you want to. And the master trading alerts is also going to be covering everything on Poloniex, everything on Binance. Let me drag this back over. So right now we're looking at Ardor, and it's up 7.1%. from our entry point right now. But it's still in a good position. It's still a buy signal. And I'm anticipating it's going to keep going. So we'll mark this in as a buy signal. It's color coded here, and it won't be color coded in the new format. It just doesn't carry across. The color in the spreadsheet doesn't carry across to the website. Basic attention token was 41.29. And it's still doing good. We had our buy signal. Prices are still moving up, looking fantastic. So there's another one that the profits will be growing on for sure. In fact, we can go over and look at this, and we see the profit is at 0.7% from our entry. And we still have our stop loss down below the market. So from 41.29, the BTC value right now is 41.59, and we got in at 41.29. Let's check that out. That's actually at 41.87, so it's gone up a little bit since that spreadsheet has been updated. Great profit, great start. BNT, this is an alert. And it still has a ways to go before it's going to come up and hit our alert status. So nothing doing there. We're just going to keep watching it. Leave it as an alert, and we'll continue to watch it. BCH, I still have to change that over so we get the two BCH, ABC, and SV in there. BCN. Nothing doing here. Nothing doing, still the same flat. Really, I don't know how long it'll take for this to wake up and do something. Bitcoin, as we were talking about earlier, I do anticipate that it's going to be going from here up to 53 to 5,500, and at that time we'll watch for those RSI divergences and the change in the on-balance volume. We'll also double check it using the Ichimoku clouds. And zoom out a little bit here. We can see that it's still inside the cloud, which is pretty bearish. It's got to break through that cloud before we really get a bullish signal out of this. And I think it'll break through that cloud and it'll come up above it, and then we're going to get that mega dump down to $2,500, maybe $3,000. And we'll see how that turns out. This is just a prediction, just a conspiracy theory, and we'll have to see how this actually turns out later. Let me drag this up a bit so you can see how how I've got this drawn out. Put this back on auto. So there's Bitcoin. I'm not giving it any trade signals. I'm not going to be trading it, like buying it and then it goes up to 5,500, then selling it, because I have most all of my coins in the altcoins. So I'm not doing any buy signals or trade signals on Bitcoin. BTS. Go back to Poloniex, click on BTS. BTS was looking pretty good. It's building up into a trade pattern. It's got an alert for a price above the 1287 level, I do believe. It's actually got a buy signal at 1245. So we hit that 1245 the other day, I believe. And we are into this trade, and it's down to 1200-ish level right now. Pulled back to support and resistance here. So generally, we should not be holding on to a trade that has not proven us correct immediately. So once it pumps up here and it gets us into it, then we are probably this one right here. I'm not sure. But generally, we shouldn't be holding anything that's not proving us correct right away. So I would say that this is another example of why I trade out in the longer term range, so that I'm not continually finding trades that are getting me in and I have to get out, getting me in and then I have to get out. But we're still seeing a great divergence in the RSI, a great divergence in the on-balance volume. So overall, I still think this is going to turn around and do a big move as Bitcoin is coming up above these levels. And if it's brushing the 5,500 or 5,300 level, by that time, this will have moved a great deal. So those are my thinking, but I got to follow along with what the charts are telling me. And if I have taken in the trade and then it went down, I would have to get out using rule number 1. I don't want to hold on anything that's not proven me correct. And so these kind of two different trading styles don't match. The short-term close-up 15-minute bars and my trading system get me in and out so often that there just piles up a whole bunch of little losses. And it's frustrating. It takes a lot of time to trade it this way, and it's not being successful right off the bat. So the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, the simple trading plan, and stepping out to the 12-hour bar view has a lot greater success for me, a lot easier to do, and a much greater profits over time, rather than trying to do it all in the short term, zoomed right in like that. Burst coin. So Burst coin gave us, this was an example of something that worked well. So it gave us the buy signal, we got in, and then we added on to it a little early, I might say, but it worked out. So then the stop losses would be set back way above these levels so that we're protecting some of this profit, and then let it go and see what happens. You can see I've put in some price predictions here of where it may go just by support and resistance from the past. So if it comes up to these levels and we see the RSI diverging and the on-balance volume diverging, this will be a time to take some profits on that trade. So it's still doing well, and if we go over here to take a look at it, it's up 35% just on the one entry, and not considering the add-on put onto that as well. Setting at 167 according to this spreadsheet so far, up 35%. So a simple call, really good one. And the on average over time, these better trades that are winning trades are winning out and beating the losing trades. So we're making more money than we're losing in the small losing trades because we're getting out quickly. Clam coin is still a buy. Let's go over to the Clam coin chart. So it really blasted off. We had this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We caught this in the hypothetical trading right here, and it's still doing well. There's no exit signal coming up on this. If I zoom into the 1 week view, let me put my phone on mute, airplane mode, we can see that it's starting to go up a second stage here. Very nice. And I didn't target this as an add-on signal on this one. And it would have been appropriate because we've already got a good amount of profit. I could put the stop loss up here and then play with adding on to this so that we are larger when we're correct. And if the trend is continuing to go, you want to be bigger on the trend as it's going. So that's an error there in form. 1709 for Civic Coin. $17.09, so it still hasn't hit us there. We're still holding on to that alert and watching. Dash Coin, we had a buy. It's pretty much high above the market, and then Decreed, we had it at 00596. So let's take a look at Dash. Still is not coming near the buy signal. Decreed, and nothing going on here too. It's down to real lows. BitShares, we already looked at this one. It's because I'm in the wrong order. Decreed, then we have Digibyte next. And Digibyte was a good buy signal here. It took off, came up, it did some volatile stuff. And because of the way I had the order set at 334 and then prices came back after that, bought in at 334, I put the buy order way up high and it came up and then it came back and it was not proving me correct. And I said, well, if I'm following my rules, then I would have to close that position because the market was not proving me correct from my entry point. And of course, my entry point was way too high. Would have been better to play this bottom formation and play it tight and then move your stop loss up above. So what's going on with this now in the long term? If I zoom out to the 1 year view, we can see that it's just making a very nice little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation right where it is. So it would still be prudent to put that trade back on if it broke above those levels. And to try it again once it breaks above these levels here, that gives us a very nice 1, 2, 3, and that would be some real serious, more serious momentum if it breaks above the 346, 345 level. So I'll put that back as an alert again, and we'll try to work it. And if your position sizes are correct, then this is all fine, not a problem. Now let's take a look at Dogecoin and see what's going on with Doge. Speculative error. We are dumping more while you guys are guessing a more losses. Hey Speed Trader, good to have you here. We're dumping more. What's dumping more? Oh yeah, I see Bitcoin over to the side here. You can see it right beside the tip jar off to the side. It's always playing there, so we can see what's going on in Bitcoin as we're watching all of these alts. And let's go jump back over to Bitcoin. Jump into the 1 day view. So it is making a top formation here. 1, 2, 3 top formation, another little top formation, and it's just breaking below that, just really pushing on this. So now we have a shoulder, a head, and this could be a shoulder. Also, we've come below the Ichimoku clouds on the 5-minute bars. If we go to the 15-minute bars, we're just coming into support. Go to the 1 week so that we're looking at the 1 hour bars, and prices have broken through the cloud and they're sitting on top of it there now. And also we've seen the cloud flip over here to green. So this pullback here, it's not worrying to me. I won't be worried until prices actually break down below the 39.50 level here. And it really could be coming down to the 3,800 level that I predicted, back to these support and resistance levels, and then make its way on. You know, there is no ETA to how long this may take. It's sort of an estimated chart arrival. And in addition, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong in my prediction. But it's make a prediction and then play it and readjust every day, every minute as the charts are changing, and you remake your strategy. So right now we're almost making an ascending wedge triangle in this level. So we're having a pretty flat top here. We've got higher lows. So if it continues in this pattern as we're going along, that's all good. Not a problem here at all. So long as it comes down and bounces off of this at the bottom of the cloud and then breaks up higher, It's all exactly fine. That's perfect. Not a worry. So the move in Bitcoin right now is whatever. Back to the charts. Good to have you guys here. There are 13 people watching, and the fee I charge for this free video is that you press firmly on the like button if you're enjoying what you're doing, you're getting some value out of this. If not, then click on the thumbs down button. If you think I should be doing something better, something different, let me know in the chat. And also, if you're here, I'd like you to say hello and say, where in the world are you from? I know we've got regular visitors from United States. We've got some regulars from Australia, from the Netherlands, from Germany, from India, from pretty much all over the world. And we've got a very small audience here. I see some other streamers that have hundreds of people watching them as they go. And I'm looking forward to building up this stream to those kind of levels. And it's the regulars who keep coming back on an often basis that make the difference. And the thumbs up button makes a huge difference as well. So Dogecoin, still a buy signal. We had a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. Nice buy signal. Prices have come back and retested that number 2 point. And it was a great trading signal. I was appreciating Dogecoin doing what it did here for us, because we had this nice downtrend channel. It came down, made a 1, 2, 3 bottom. We had the RSI divergence. We had the on-balance volume divergence, just as clear as could be. Then prices did what they're supposed to. They've come up. And I think this will continue to do more. Dogecoin, for some reason, does very well. And when you look at the Poloniex order book, there's always 20 Bitcoin of Doge, just 1 Satoshi above the market and a couple Satoshi below the market. So if you're a big trader, you can really put on a big position on this market, where most other ones, you can't just jump in with a 20 Bitcoin position and not move the market more than 1 Satoshi. It's crazy. All right, there's the Bitcoin. I'm going to keep mistakenly clicking on that. So EOS and Ethereum Classic made new bottoms, new lows last time we looked at them. EOS still hanging down there at those lows. Nothing to look at here. Ethereum Classic still down at those lows. Nothing to look at there either. Ethereum, we had this channel, it's a pretty tight channel, and it's catching some support there. It's not going down further. If I zoom into the 1-day view, then we can see that we had out of this channel, it actually poked above it and it's come back down, and another poke above that channel will be very good. So if Bitcoin gives some strength, then I think Ethereum is going to really start to do some fancy dancing here out of this descending wedge. It's going to be very good. That is a potential bull flag. So if this breaks out higher, then we'll see this as a bull flag on this downtrend. However, there's nothing to do as a trading signal there. Factum has been a buy signal for a while. We've been into it for quite a while. It's doing really good. And then earlier today, I posted inside our Discord chat, back to the 1 week view. I posted inside our Discord chat this top formation, and we can see a double top. We can see the descending RSI. We see the descending on balance volume. So we had strong volume up to this top here. Then we had much less volume as it came up to this top, and that's a sign the bulls are running out of speed, running out of steam. And then I also posted, and the things are not showing properly, but I posted that this was a top and that we had the divergence in the RSI and the on balance volume here as well in the short-term view. So the top was looking pretty toppy and backed up by the data, by these indicators, not only just the top formation, but these indicators as well. And I wanted to back it up. I wanted to be sure. So I went and looked at the Ichimoku clouds. And as we zoom into the 1 week view here, 1 week view, we can see prices are above the cloud but coming down. We see a strong divergence here, the strong divergence here. As we zoom into the 3-day view, then we can see that the prices have already broken through the cloud and they're down below it. and a stronger divergence here. It really stands out in the 3-day view when we're looking at the 15-minute bars. So it takes that kind of perspective of looking at the 1 month view here so that we can see that we're at a double top, check out the change in the trading volume, and then zoom in on the 15-minute bars to clarify what's actually going on this. This is like the opposite of a springboard trade entry for a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that I talk about in my book. This is the opposite of it. This is like a springboard exit. And indeed, I did take a short position on Factum, and we'll see how that plays out over time, but it's gone profitable here now. So we'll see how long this down move continues. But I do think that the more strength Bitcoin shows, then Factum will come down, because right at the very same time that Bitcoin started dropping, Factum started rising. So as this comes down and Bitcoin bottoms, if it's showing strength, then I think Factum is going to be coming back and retracing after that. So I'm happy to have a short position that's a little bit profitable, and my stop is just below my entry, so that's locked in and no losses will be incurred there if it does turn around. However, for the simple trading plan, this is still a buy signal. Like, the moving averages haven't crossed over nearly at all, so we're still holding this one happily. If we're trading the simple trading plan, then we're looking for the long-term trend. And if this was to pull back all the way along here and touch along like this and then move its way up, these moving averages probably wouldn't touch out, and we would be able to stay in this trade for a long time and catch the whole move instead of just be jumping in and out of the part of the move. So lots of different ways to play this strategy. So I'll leave this marked as a buy signal for now, and we'll watch that one over time, because as I go into the trade analysis here, we go down to Factum, we can see that the stop loss is set at 113% profit, and right now we're at 261% profit. So it could come back quite a ways before it comes down to this stop loss. And the reason the stop loss is back so far is that it's profit that we're playing with, and I want to keep it back far enough to give the market room to do a big swing around like this and then continue on the trade if it does. So it is giving up potential for this profit now for that longer term possibility of making some bigger profits. Ola from Georgia, good to see you here. Triangle, it's been a few streams since I saw you the last time, but good to have you in. Game Credits gave us a buy signal, and it's still holding that buy signal. So we did this on a very short-term time frame, looking at this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. 1, 2, 3, very close, and it's gone up above that, so that's great to see. Nice to see that as a buy signal there as well. Still no new buy signals here yet today. So gas, we had the settings for 00063, and we'll go and take a look at gas now to see what it's doing. 00063, not hit our buy target yet, but it's really still consolidating very nice. Nothing doing there. It's still an alert. How about GNT? GNT made a couple wicks up and it's still building, but I think our buy order is up above these wicks. Yes, that is. So nothing going on there. This was an alert, and then I took the alert off on Hunter Coin. Let's go see what a Hunter Coin is doing here now. No, it's not an alert. With these big mega candles down, it's actually pretty scary to be thinking of jumping in on that. Here's another one, Kyber Network, that came up, touched our entry, and then it pulled back. So using rule number 1, if it's not proving us correct immediately, we close that position and try again. So let's go and see what Kyber Network is doing now. Okay, so it got us in, kicked us out, and then it's way up higher and pulled back. So your stop loss strategy is really key. Using the 1, 2, 3 bottoms, you're supposed to have your stop loss below the number 3 point and allow yourself to risk that much of the trade. Rule number 1 says only hold it if it proves you correct, but over what time frame? So this is something that you have to get comfortable with, how fast you use rule number 1. So I would say that we bought back into this. According to this plan, we would use this trade signal again, 45.44, and we would be back into it in that 45.44. Hypothetical, so we can 45.44, 45.44. Yeah, that would be fine. Might have said something like 47.33. So I'll put that in there. And we'll take that as our entry point just by following along with the chart patterns and hypothetically saying that this is where we would have gotten in, what would the profit be if we're playing this trading system correctly, and see how it goes over time. So some of these markets I do trade as we are marking here, and some of them I don't trade. Some of them I wish I would have. Library credits, nothing going on here. It's got to break above these levels. Loom at 1501. So it looks like this would have touched us in overnight from the 30th. So rule number 1 would say if we get touched in on something like this and then it pulls back, it's not proving us correct. And yet at the same time, we know we're at historical bottoms, and these are pre-pump candles. So it may be that we leave our stop loss down below these areas to begin with if we're going to allow it to stop us in like that on a spike. Again, this was not set as an alert, but it did the same thing to us before. 1300 and hit us out. 1500, and if we're playing the same way, this would also hit us out here again. So let's make an adjustment on that. I'm going to put that in there, and then we'll adjust our stop losses so that we're taking a little bit greater risk. We'll take on a smaller position and then hold on to it for a longer period. So this is great, because this is what I learned over the last few years of trading. I had 3 different Poloniex accounts. One account had this trading style that we're seeing here in the 15-minute bars, lots of in and outs like this. Another account I had in the 12-hour bars, and I did very few trades with it and really let it run. And another account was just a hold forever account. The account that did the best was the one that did the 12-hour bars. And because it did the best and I really reviewed everything and all the trading, that's why I came up with my trading style that eventually did so well for me. So here we can see just in the last while of going back to this strategy, just out of that temptation of seeing these lows and wanting to get the best entry, it's turning into the less better trading method. We're jumping in and out, we're getting hit many different times, we're getting those fake out breakouts, those candle wicks up are taking us out with our risk control strategy, and that's not so good. Good to study it though without real money and to get the feeling for it, and really great that I get to share this with people who are watching too. Nothing going on with Lisk, we're still waiting on that one. Litecoin, we had the buy signal. It pulled back a little bit, and then it's going up a bit more, so that's still a buy signal. We're still holding on to that one. Then we'll go on to MadeSafe coin. Was a buy signal for quite a while, but it's really pulled back this last night. There's Mana. See, MadeSafe has really pulled back right pretty much to our entry point where we were buying on this breakout. Finally, when it really broke above this big long-term 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, then we finally bought in. And it's been whipsawing around in this area. It just dropped out of this parallel channel, so be interesting to see what it does right now, but it hasn't hit our stop loss as yet, so we'll still hold on to that one. And then the next one is Mana, which we just had a glimpse of the chart, and I could see that it's still in the hold position. It's still in a good chart position. So let's go and look at Mana. So we got into this breakout here. Prices came back and retested it, and now they're growing up higher. Really a great chart. Really good to see that. Next one is Navcoin, where we said 64.51. Not there yet. NXC, Namecoin, sorry. So Namecoin is making a pretty good bottom here, but we put our stop order way above here yet, so it hasn't touched our order. So nothing doing there. Still an alert. Then we have NXT and OMG hit new number 1 points. They were at real lows, but we just saw a few minutes ago that NXT has been one of the top movers on Poloniex today. So out of this new bottom, it gave a good surge. So that's great, but it's still not giving us a buy signal. It would have to retrace a bit from here and then show strength, because it has been going down for so long. It's down to these new lows. It has to give us a better 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here before we can jump in on that. So I want to put that as an alert now. Even though it was just a fail, it's really turned around with some pretty big power there. OMG, what's going on there? Still down to these lows, a tiny little wee 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up here. If I go to the 1-day view and pull back. Wow, okay, let's go to the 3-day view, pull back. Everything's a perspective, eh? So we have to go to the 1-week view so it pulls in enough data, and it is making a 1, 2, 3 bottom right there. Way too short a time frame looking at the 1-hour chart. But I'm going to put it as an alert as well. Omni, we're saying 00079. Triple 079, so it was up very close to us. And the next run up past there will be probably real good. Pascal. Nothing new here. We had actually gotten out of our trade because it broke down below this support and resistance line. And we set our trade exit and we achieved it. PPC and then Quantum. PPC. Can't really say what I think about this one. 1 month view. It's actually looking pretty bullish. It's come back to retest these levels and then given us a little internal 1, 2, 3 formation here. So a break above these levels is bullish. A break above those levels there. And what is that? 000192. And I had said 000191, so I do call the same areas over and over again. Gets to be systematic. Your brain gets those pattern recognition. Quantum 00072. Still not looking so good. It's got lower lows, lower highs. You can hear me? That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Khan, good to have you here. Smaller group today, 10 people watching. But that's okay. Let's get you 10 people one more step forward towards whatever's next. Quantum still not giving us anything. Rep, we had bought in, it came back, kicked us out. Then we set our levels at 251, 00251. I said, well, that's kind of high up. Let me reset it to 00208. Now let's go see what Rep is doing to us. 00208. So we have a buy signal here. And there's the first of the new buy signals here. 0.00208. And I will update that in the spreadsheet so that it turns up on this list. So if I go to the Polo Watch and I go down to Rep, and I take that as our buy signal, and I change this now to a hold, and move over here. When I go back to the Polo trades, we'll see that rep is now in here at our hold. We see the price, and what I need to do is copy and paste. That's in the wrong place. Let's set our stop loss for that. Put our stop loss back a bit so we've give it some room. 001901. Wrong sheet. And then I'll copy and paste these formulas. And we'll see that we're risking a full 8.6% on that trade if it goes down to those stop loss. And right now we're down 0.29% according to our entry and the current price. And so now when I go to the Polo trades, all that data is in there. And we can see that the days held was just the one. We just started it today. Oh, I don't have the date on it, that's why. So December the 1st. There we go. So now our data is updated here. It's updated in our other spreadsheet that just pulls in the trades details held for 0 days. And it'll also be now updated inside the members area of the website. And then every day this information is emailed out to people who are signed up for the alerts package. So immediately you get this, you know what the alerts are, and you know which alerts have turned into an actual buy signal. So it's a real evolution of this simple trading plan spreadsheet that we're doing as our bull market watch. Now it is a much more automated process, and the information gets out to people who want that information, and not just the people who are willing to sit here for the hour or longer that it takes to go through, review all these and explain all of them. This is more of an educational piece for people who are just starting out, and it's a good way for me to really reinforce everything that I know about these markets. Now here's one. We saw that the break of the trend line here out of a little 1, 2, 3 top formation. This is a stable coin that's supposed to stay at about $1 US. So as Bitcoin prices went down, of course this went up. As Bitcoin prices are coming up, so this is coming down. Very good to know and good to watch, because I had really played that market improperly in the past. But it's still not a sell signal. We're still holding on for a longer trend. The moving averages haven't crossed over yet. So it won't be long before that sell signal comes into play. Sia coin touched us in at 76 and then it pulled back. So I took that as a rule number one, said, all right, we'll get out and move the entry position a little bit different. Let's go see what Sia coin is actually doing. It's still building, and I think an entry above 81 would be a great entry on this now. So I'll put this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 81 Satoshi, and I'll put it as an alert. And so what I would do in the mega spreadsheet, which I'll be doing more often very shortly, is I'd go into this alert. There we already have it at 82, so it's already marked as an alert using the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation on the 4-hour view. So that's already updated. And in our bull market watch spreadsheet, we've got a few more left to do here. SNT and then Steam. So SNT was a buy alert at 541. Let's go see what it's doing. Still hasn't come up above that, so nothing going on there. Steam, it hasn't broken above these things, nothing to do there. Storage had given us a buy signal out of this bottom formation, and it's still profitable. So if we go over to the alerts and look at the Polo trades, we can see storage. We got in at 42.61. The price is now 44.18. So we're up 5.16%, and our stop loss is above our entry point now, so it would hold us in there. Here's our entry point, and this is our stop loss. So really great. That's fantastic. Nice way to ratchet into that trade. And we've been watching for this for a while. This is a market I'm really excited about, and I believe it's going to do some amazing things. Storage, next one is STR. And what did we say about that last time? A watch at 4045. It's at 3918 right now, so it did not get up to the 4045. We'll just keep watching that one. Strat, we're looking for 000206. Triple 0206, so it has to come up above these wicks, and it hasn't yet, but it's looking pretty good. Then we have the next one is Syscoin at 1047. How's Syscoin doing? Hasn't broken above 1047 yet, but it's edging there. Let's zoom in on that. Maybe it has. When was this? Yes, indeed. It did go up above our 1047, just to the 1047, and it's pulled back. So, Syscoin in the Polo Watch turns into a buy December 1. And where will we put our stop loss here? At about 954. Enter. Then I'll just copy and paste these details into place, and we're risking 8%, 8.8% on that trade. And right now we're having a little bit of drawdown at minus 3.4%. And just to double check, we go to the trades, and sure enough, Syscoin is already put in, showing that we're holding it for 0 days, and this is the data, and this will automatically be on the website already. I'm very tickled pink by that upgrade to the alerts packages. So Syscoin turned this into a buy. So we don't get nearly the amount of detail here in this spreadsheet. Viacoin touched us in, kicked us out, 95.02. So there's another example of getting whipsawed by trading the 15-minute bars. And then this candle takes us in, it pulls back, and we say, well, I don't want any risk, and then I get out. I didn't want to take any drawdown in that trade. And really, this is a great pre-pump candle. It would have been easy just to sit there and say, more up is coming, but that increases your risk. So we'll leave that one for now. And VTC 9906, I think this one did the same thing to us, VTC. It touched us in 9906, so now we have the buy order up a little bit higher, and nothing going on there yet. It hasn't come up to it. Wrong place. Then we're going over to Counterparty, which gave us a buy signal at 00061. X Counterparty. Still looking good. Nice buy signal. It's all healthy. No worries there. So I'll leave this as a green, that it continues to be a hold. And then XEM, we had an add-on signal on this one. So it gave us a buy signal out of here, consolidated, and we added on to it, and it's doing well. It's come up nicely. The mega crypto charts here shows just that original entry and the current price. So it's only giving us 5.5% profit right now since our original entry point at 18. This is the value now. Our entry point was 1763. So it really took an anticipation that it would be higher than just getting in right off this. So it still continues on to be the trading signal color. Then we have XMR, which was giving us nothing, not an alert, not a target entry or anything. Then we'll go on to XPM. So XMR. Now it's made a couple bottoms here. Zoom out to the 3-month view, pull this back. Made a nice double bottom here while we are at historical lows. The trouble is the on-balance volume is stronger here than here. If it had been weaker and this was really strong and then this was weaker, that would be a better setup. We're looking at the 12-hour bars, so let's zoom in a bit. The 1-hour bars. So this is a better looking thing where we have on-balance volume is pretty strong right here on these lows. We got some positive on-balance volume, a little bit weaker, not as strong as over here. And then on the next wave down, it's even weaker still. While at the same time, we have a divergence in the RSI. So this could be turning around. We do see a very flat trend line on the way down. So if it was to break above that as a result of these indicators that we're seeing here, that would be good. It wouldn't give us a buy signal yet, but that would be a good signal for this market. Ripple, XRP. It was our buy signal here. It was our add-on signal here. Prices have pulled back a little bit, but it's all fine and good. Nothing outside of this big, wide parallel channel line. So it's nothing wrong there. You could have taken profits earlier. You could take them now if they break down below this level. Or you could wait for the 12-hour bar view and wait for these moving averages to actually cross over as your exit point. Few different ways to trade that one. So the last couple we're looking at is Zcash and ZRX. Zcash. Hello, Purity Page. Good to have you here again. I appreciate the regulars coming out, and I'm really looking forward to hearing some profit stories, some success stories. Right now, the markets are still making these bottoms. They're still staging along. We're getting a few of them that are starting to go, but really, it's pretty difficult trading still. So I'm anticipating over the next 3 weeks or thereabouts, we should have some good profit stories coming in from everybody who's been watching. And then I'm really keen to see what happens if Bitcoin does reach that 53 to 5,500 level and it starts to make a top formation. Personally, I'm going to liquidate all of my alts, every bit of it, and put it all into a stable coin, USDT, USD, whatever there's so many of them coming out now. So this gave us a wick in and then pulled back. So we're holding at a loss on this one because it was announced that it was going on to Coinbase and not much happened there. The market is not so super impressed with that announcement anymore. Prices have come back, so we're holding a loss on this one. We're down. We have our stop loss, 15% loss total, and right now we're down 13% in that and watching it. So not so good. The stop loss must be down here. The final one is ZRX, and it's not giving us any signals yet. 3-month view. Oh, it's a massive, massive triangle. If it does eventually break higher out of this triangle, it's going to be pretty significant, I think. That's really important, especially that it's hit these bottoms and kept this support. That's pretty cool. I like to see that, but I can't trade it yet. So it stays just neutral. It's not even an alert yet. I'm not even putting a number on there to say where I might get in. So there we have it. We had a couple new green trades here today. Syscoin, did that actually give us a buy? Oh yeah, it wicked us in. Just that we were pretty tight on that buy order. And in the past, we didn't allow those wicks to get us in because we're using the simple trading plan. And it's just filters out more of these kind of wicks of movement where the price is looking good, but it's not having the follow through volume to change the way things are going. So now that we've come down here and Bitcoin is bouncing, maybe we'll get that follow through volume on this, and that would be good since we've already had a position put on this. And 1 2 3 4 1047. So people who are checking out this chart for free for live, they can see what the data is, the details are today. but they can sign in anytime. But this is going to be depreciated soon, and I'm going to be putting all this information in a free area inside IntroToCryptos.ca. Let's see what's going on with that site. It was working just a short time ago, and the page isn't working now. It's currently unable to handle this request. We've got a 500 error, so I have to go and figure out what was going on with my website over there. Perfect timing, of course. Now let's go back and check a few highlights that I'm watching. Zoom in on the one-day view of this. I actually went short on this. I figured that if the market is up at a formation that I would buy it if it was upside down, then I should be shorting it if it's doing that. I actually want to practice shorting because I've been the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation trader, and I wait for those 1, 2, 3 bottoms, but I want to be trading the Ichimoku cloud formation more often. And so if it's giving me a sell signal, I want to take that sell signal, either take profits or go short. Another one that I'm really keen on is BitShares. So it's come down to a pretty flat consolidation here now. But in the on-balance volume, we're seeing some pretty big spikes of selling going on there. So it's not ready to turn around and give me the blast off that I want. But we can also see, if we zoom out to the 1-week view, we have some pretty good pre-pump candles building up here. And this little pullback here isn't concerning at all. MadeSafe coin has always been one of my favorites. It's pulled out of the ascending parallel line channel out of a 1, 2, 3 top formation. And if I zoom out to the 1-month view, we can see the 4-hour bar moving averages have crossed over. And how about on the 12-hour? Still not yet. But that it's come out of that parallel channel line is a signal that if you had got into this little 1, 2, 3 bottom, you may want to step back and let it pull back a bit more before putting your position back on. If you are trading as a long-term trader and you waited for this 12-hour bar, exponential moving average to cross over out of this 1, 2, 3 bottom, you buy into it and you'd just be sitting back. You wouldn't be jumping in and out. You're waiting for the much longer trend to take off. And this has gone, like when we look at what we're in perspective to where this has been, just it's such a small thing, it's not so important. Now we're getting some shorts liquidations notifications here on the side. So that must mean if we go into Bitfinex and zoom in on the 1-day chart, yep, the shorts are getting liquidated because they're going short on this drop here, and then we had a little spike of movement in the price. Let's move into the 1-minute bar and see what's going on. So the on-balance volume is showing a change here where you can see this big volume and then much less volume here. Then even on these 1-minute bars, we can see this double bottom and the RSI divergence. So really is amazing how often this is shown to us. Follow Elliott wave theory at all? Moving out to the day chart, you can see we are entering the very explosive wave 3 that should take most coins back to all-times high versus Bitcoin in a rather short period. Michael, I'm glad to have you here. I like to hear stories like that. Moving out to the day chart, we can see we're entering a very explosive wave 3 that should take most coins back to highs. I am expecting that we're going to see an explosive move, but I don't think it's the one yet. And I actually can't speak for the Elliott wave theory. I just took the one piece of it and made it my own. But the longer term Elliott wave stuff, I'll have to study it more and not just discount it. But what I was looking at, if I can pull it up in a different screen and then drag it over, and I'll explain where I got this view from in my downloads folder. Oh, it's back there a ways now. Here we are. That's even better. Let's go to Denmark. The Altcoin Trader's Handbook, which I have not purchased yet. I'll buy this from Nick Patel because I've referenced it so often. Here's what Bitcoin, this is not a chart of Bitcoin, but it is a typical classical chart of what happens after a parabolic move, top formation. Then we see prices come down. They make the descending wedge triangle, and likely if we could see, this would show us a decreasing amount of volume like we saw in Bitcoin. Then prices crack down, and this could be the Elliott wave things where we're seeing 1, 2, 3 down. Then, just like we saw now, the prices came up to the support and resistance, then they came back down to where we just saw them, and now they're on their way to be breaking higher. And this is where I figure it's going to go up to 53 to 5,500, and then we're going to see that massive, real big spike down. That's going to be our immediate bottom. And if it follows this pattern, it's not going to be a rounded bottom that goes flat and sideways, but it's going to spike down, and then on enormous volume, it's going to be going up and up and up and up and up. And that's when we're going to get our really big. So the shorts seem to have fallen bearish from an ascending wedge triangle. The last December was wave 1, wave 2, finishing up now. So this book cover, actually, when I saw all of this starting and I saw where we were, I started calling this pattern when we were at this level. When we came down to that third wave down, I was saying, well, this is what's going to happen. And I have this conspiracy theory that the hedge funds and the guys who are really trading with multi-million dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, they're using the futures market to go short in, and they are using the cash market to buy real Bitcoin because they know that Bitcoin is actually more valuable than gold, especially in the 21st and 22nd centuries. As we're moving forward in this digital age of money, it is very much more important than gold. And so they are going to run things up a little bit. They'll get all the bulls excited, and then they are going to just hammer it down, liquidate all these longs, and everybody's going to sell out. They're going to get into this panic sell mode and crash it big down. So what I'm watching for is at the 53 to 5,500 level. When it comes up to here, that's when I'm going to be looking for that top formation, and I want to go mostly to USDT, USDC, a true US dollar, whatever stable coin there is. Maybe even sell some things to fiat currency, but probably not. And that's my plan. That's what I'm going to be doing for the next while with Bitcoin and my altcoins. But good to hear that they won't drop the market cap between 100 billion because they can't have futures markets if it's less than 100 billion market cap. Wow, that is new news for me and really important stuff. Let's drag this over. What are we at now? Well, we're already at 73 billion. Or maybe you mean the total. It's 136 billion. So that's not much room to go down. We've already gone from 210 billion down to this 136 billion. Enormous amount of money evaporated from the crypto space. And watching XRP sneaking up too, I think it's going to take over top place from Bitcoin. It's going to have larger market cap than Bitcoin. And we'll see how that plays out over time. Oh yeah, so there we go, 136 billion total market cap. That's interesting news to hear. So I'll watch for that to get down to that close to 100 billion market cap right at the time when Bitcoin is at $3,000, $2,500. Pretty cool. Nice to know the last one we went from 15 billion to 850 billion in a year. And 850 billion is still a very small amount of money compared to what the world markets do every day. It's trillions of dollars every day. So not just the total market cap, but the daily movement of money. And if Ripple is going to be the interledger protocol, and it's the fuel for the interledger protocol for all mass world money movement, it's going to go from the 37 cents it is now to $3.70 to $37, maybe to $370, which means that $100 invested now would turn into $100,000. And its market cap would be far greater than Bitcoin. I think it's going to work its way into the world's economy in a way that Bitcoin can't do, just because it's providing a different approach to world market and world money. Just think of what we get to. Yes, what we are going to get to this time. This is why I'm doing these live streams so often, and why I'm doing this incredibly deep mega study, so that I am as ready as possible. Because if I was able to make as much money as I did last time in the cryptos, and this is going to be a bigger run, then I really am wanting to be as prepared as possible. And you know what? There's going to be so much money made that I can't possibly make it all myself. Yeah, I have to go and go to the web hosting support now and find out why my website is giving this 500 error for the entire time here I've been online. But that's it for this live stream. Pretty relaxed one, going through these coins, and some pretty important stuff coming up here now with this way I'm putting together the alerts, so that we can see which coins are giving us the alert status, how many days they have been, where is our alert entry set at. And this information is emailed out to people who are on that alert service. And then they also get deep information and access to this ongoing profit and loss and risk, our stop loss. I don't have target orders in place. I don't really use them the same way other traders do. I'm really letting the market show me where the target is. So when it makes that top formation, gives us that RSI divergence, then that's when I take the top. And other than that, I just let it I try to let it go and let it show me where the top is, rather than setting a target and getting out and then seeing the market continue to go. I want to give it room to go, and the higher it goes up, the more distance I give it in my stop loss. And I'm willing to give up some of this potential profit for the possibility of making phenomenally greater profits than what we're seeing right now. And a lot of the stuff I learned from from reading Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. If you haven't read that book, order it from Amazon today. Buy the physical paper book so that you can underline things and you can write in the margins, and you can really learn from this book. It's an entertaining read. It's a really great book to read just for the fun of it, but it's an educational book like no other for trading, and it'll work fantastically for cryptocurrencies as well. Anyway, I'm grateful to have you guys here. Fantastic to have people following along. If you haven't already, push firmly on the thumbs up button. I appreciate that greatly. That's your fee for watching here today. And hopefully this has been fantastic for you as well. I'm very honored to be having a chance to participate and help out in your journey in any small way. I take this all very, very seriously, and I really try to be the living example of what I'm teaching here. I really try to trade exactly how I'm teaching here. And this is my trading journal. I'm learning as we go and studying everything about it as we go. And hopefully it helps anybody who's watching as well. Many thanks again, and I will chat with you all next live stream.